Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Vinay and we like watching anime. My favorite anime is One Piece, but we are no stranger to detective animes, which is what we've been into kind of for a long time now. And one of those animes that we've been watching is Moriarty the Patriot or Yukoku no Moriarty. We are at part two, if you know what I mean, because this has been such a roller coaster of an anime. Because it starts off very mild, you know. Yeah, you get introduced to who Moriarty is, you get introduced to who William is, who Lewis is, how sort of their characters are growing throughout this episodes, and suddenly you realize, oh hey, it's that anime. It's that anime where you get to see Sherlock, and no, it's not Sherlock who's the protagonist. Well, kind of is, but it's not about him. This show literally is about William James Moriarty, and it has been such an amazing ride across the episodes. We have been seeing so many new characters. We've been seeing Moran, we've been seeing Fred, we've been seeing Jack the Ripper, and believe it or not, we are also seeing James Bond. And suddenly we are also in clutches with the government, who is basically Mycroft at this point. And if you know anything about Sherlock, you know how interesting this is. We've just finished episode 16, which is the Whitechapel, the Phantom of the Whitechapel Act, which kind of introduced the character of Jack the Ripper and originally who he was and how he served in the military and how what sort of connection he has with Moriarty. And if you want to check out the reaction to that, there's a link in the description for the playlist of Moriarty and all the other animes that I've been watching. But moving on, we are watching episode 17. I think Moriarty at this point has just let Sherlock be himself, and he's kind of testing him, teasing him, but also testing him. I think. Oh, by the way, did you see the big reveal of last episode? We got introduced to yet another new character, and I don't know if you know him or not. Now, I tried to correlate these characters with the TV shows, with the movies, of course. And if you watch Sherlock before, you know Charles, which was the characters introduced in the last episode, is adjacent to Charles Magnuson from Sherlock season 3, who is basically the Napoleon of blackmail. And because he has so much information, he has so much knowledge and so much things to remember and kind of similar abilities. Is also smart and intelligent, just like Moriarty and Sherlock, but not exactly the same way. And he keeps his evidence with himself. What's the episode, if you know what I mean? And similar to that, we got introduced to the new character here, which is Charles Augustus Milverton, uh, also derived from the books. It's definitely derived from the books. I saw who that was, but I kind of failed to connect who that was in the last episode. I had an idea that it would be Magnuson, but I didn't know who he was, and now it all makes sense. Now Magnuson knows who Moriarty is. He has to add him on his list. He has to research about him. He already knows Sherlock at this point. I think everybody in this world knows who Sherlock is at this point. 221B Baker Street, not exactly a secret anymore. The problem is, right, if you analyze the two parties here, Mycroft, oh sorry, not Mycroft, Moriarty's team and Sherlock's team, Moriarty's team right now has fairly great advantage than Sherlock's team. And if it was not for Mycroft, I think Sherlock would be at a total disadvantage at this point. I think they come neck and neck, just slightly above Sherlock because Mycroft is, well, he is the government. Let me know what you think about that as well. But I think Mycroft, because of Mycroft, Sherlock is a tad bit more advantageous than Moriarty because he has that sort of connections. Whereas Moriarty being has this noble sort of background that kind of helps him. Plus, he has William, Albert, he has Lewis, he has Moran, he has Fred, he has James Bond, and even Jack the Ripper, Jack the freaking Ripper. Now, we were able to solve the conflict from the Phantom of Whitechapel, from the Whitechapel, and in a very relatively smart way. But Sherlock knows that he can put all the blame, or he knows who resolved this conflict the way it did, but he does not have any evidence to prove that. And now we're going to see the interactions of, or the aftermath of, basically what happened with Phantom in Whitechapel, because there was a conflict between the Scotland Yard and the locals. So let's find out what's happening in the show right now, episode 17. Do you know what this reminds me of? Oh wow, some other guys has been arrested. Michael Dwight. This reminds me of Code Geass. The way the situation unfolded, creating a common enemy. Oh wow, compliment from Mycroft. That's crazy. That's kind of smart. I think, all right. This is gonna drive some people nuts. Patterson. Patterson. Oh. Yep, yep. Well, that's his job. He's a detective. Wow. That's a corrupt leader, if anything. Okay. I wonder if this guy is Patterson is the contact of Moriarty, because he said he did mention that he has a contact in Scotland Yard. Could be him. Boy, some people will do anything for promotion. Yep. You have to gather evidence. Come on. You've got time limit there. Lestrade. Yeah. See, he's just nudging him in the right direction. Sherlock. It's not something you can find. Excuse me? Hello? Did we not say that already? Nah, he would. He knows this is false culprit as well. Now, Sherlock is not the kind of guy who would like to save people, but to solve a mystery, sure. Okay, hello. Oh, wow. We got some really skilled guy here. Oh, okay. I'm connecting the dots now. Alright, before they say anything, James Bond is notorious to have certain gadgets, right, with him. And it's kind of like Mr. English, but with John English, but still, James Bond has some seriously high-tech gadgets with him, and in a world where all they have is weapons and rifles and bullets, the bullets that are not only fired silently but also can release sleeping gas. Hey, come on! If that's not high tech, I don't know what that is. And of course, James Bond has to have a car that is specifically designed for him to ride and for everybody else to be like just odd about. Like that's how it is, and I feel like yes, they are making some justice to this scenario, to this fake Bond who is technically Irene Adler at this point. But yeah, and again, like I was saying, Sherlock might not be interested in saving somebody else, even though they are falsely accused. That's not what he itches to do. He's a consulting detective for a reason. His whole thing is he wants to basically solve mysteries. And if something I think last episode we kind of established that Sherlock does not Sherlock does not Sherlock wasn't able to connect the dots. Sherlock knew that this is a false culprit, or this something was solved by Moriarty. How do we get there? We don't know. And now, if somebody is framing somebody, I think that points to something. I really, really wonder if this guy Patterson is the same contact of Moriarty in Scotland Yard. The problem is that even though I want to believe it, he is not at an exactly very high place for me to say yes. Because the kind of things that Moriarty would need from the guy from their, let's say, spy in Scotland Yard, I think he would have to have been at some sort of top places. And yes, there is one person, but I don't think Mycroft is involved in Scotland Yard. Mycroft is too busy managing the government, so I don't think it's somebody related to Mycroft. I think it's somebody related to this particular field. And that guy at the top, Arterton, I think is that one. I don't think he is the sort of person who would be just revealing himself to Moriarty. But hey, there are some people who will do anything for promotions, anything for jobs. They don't care. Very selfish in nature. And hey, you are seeing it here, right here, firsthand. The thing is, what has Moriarty got in plan for us right now? We don't know. What has Sherlock got in plan for right now? We again don't know. But we kind of know that here the mission is to save somebody, like the one person who was framed, who has a clean record, by the way, and he's suddenly being framed because he was sort of involved. What sort of involvement are we talking about? They don't mention about that here anyway. Also, where is Charles? Mm-hmm. Hmm. He's denying rights of these people as well. Like, hmm. Oh, is it him? Is it actually him? Come on. All right. Is he meeting with so he's meeting up with James Bond. Wow. First electronic automatic car. That's cool. Are you sure you want to be seeing riding around that? Aren't you supposed to be a spy? Or an agent? Wow, that's oddly specific. Yeah, exactly. He is the contact of Moriarty. That's sad. Wouldn't Sherlock be there as well? Okay. Does not drink vodka martini. taken, not stirred, like James Bond. Hmm. Nobody stops him. I mean, oh, of course. And now he can exit from here anyway. Yep. Oh wow. So they expected that as well. Man, Moriarty is thorough. Really thorough. Damn. Police brutality at its finest. Wait, nobody's seeing it? I don't think he's searching for a ledger. I think yeah. The Sherlock is trying to do something else on his own. Wow. Yep. Oof. That is a sad place to be at. Damn. Like I said, show is called Moriarty the Patriot. The protagonist of this show is Moriarty and not Sherlock. No matter how much he wants to do things that kind of is acts like hurdles for Moriarty's plans, he doesn't have the luxury to make choices. It's only Moriarty. He's planning these things. He's taking into account Lestrade, Watson, Sherlock, James Bond, um, the other guy, what was his name? Patterson, Arterton. He's taking into account all of these people. He knows them personally. I think probably more than they know about themselves, and he knows how to make each and everyone tick as well. Uh, I, of course. So why I said Patterson was like might be the guy, might be the spy for Moriarty. It it kind of now makes sense. We wouldn't have known in the last episode, but if you are able to kind of figure it out, that sort of kills the mystery. That's for for mystery of the show and what's going to happen. So I'm let's. This is me saying, okay, I don't want the show to be so predictable. You know, I want the show to be much more interesting. And for Sherlock's case, in Sherlock's side, it's really interesting because like he has to operate under Moriarty's plans and still come out winning. That is how the mystery is built. Whereas Bond's case, he's just accepted at this point that he's gonna follow whatever Moriarty is saying. Moran and Fred, same thing. Albert has its own stuff, but yes, he operates in a different situation and scenarios than expected. And the only way that Sherlock is going to be able to figure out that Moriarty is actually behind this, or at least the sort of real identity, get close to the real identity of Moriarty, is if he catches Bonde. And then Irene comes into picture. And then he has to connect dots that somehow his brother is involved, and not just him. He has to be involved with the Lord of Crime and counter questions or like sort of stuff to his brother, Mycroft. I don't think he is going to be able to meet Moriarty face to face or get revealed to Moriarty face to face ever before that. And I might be wrong here, but that's just me. That's just what I'm thinking. Quite honestly, this is Moriarty's show. This is not Sherlock's show. So this can go way wrong in multiple situations for Sherlock, but not for Moriarty. And the only way that it actually goes wrong for Moriarty if he voluntarily decides to come forward and introduce himself to Sherlock, just like how L decided to introduce himself to Kira, which is Light Yagami at this point. That sort of battle, right? This show, even though I say it connects to multiple other shows, but that is the point, you know. Like if one person is extremely talented, extremely intelligent in one world, it just kills the whole show. Like yeah, everything is going to go according to plan. That's just how it has to happen. Whereas if there is a rival like L and Light, Lelouch and the other guy who was there at the end, you'll find out. I don't remember his name anyway. And Sherlock and Moriarty. Now there is some interesting chemistry there, and now that makes it much more curious. That arises much more curiosity for me, and makes this show interesting to watch as well. God, I hope Lestrade, Sherlock, and Irene meet. Yep, yep, that is the right mindset. Right, first red flag. Wow. This is where if you had phones, makes more sense. Hmm. Wow, that was actually really fast as well. Hmm. You can't say that just based out of a hunch, though. Okay, then you would have no problems showing us around, I guess. Wow, they're fighting? Oh, no way. Oh, awesome. One honest officer. Come on, Sherlock. You must have noticed. Come on, Sherlock. You must have noticed. You have to notice, Sherlock. Why is one person going out? Sherlock. Oh, wow. There was an exchange. There was an exchange there. And rightfully so. Thrown in jail. For my friends, again. If you listen carefully, criminals actually do reveal themselves. Nice. Now, is that the true one though? Is that the actual real one? Okay. Damn. As a detective, shouldn't you be like, hey, this is happening, just too good for me? Yep, yep. First automatic vehicle in Sherlock. That's so cool. And he got arrested then? Quite honestly, Sherlock did nothing there. Yeah, he's got contacts in high places. I don't think so as well. That means he doesn't want the promotion, I guess, now that the position is vacant. Yep, yep, and that's how he becomes chief inspector. Oh, oh, what? Oh, it's the other way around. He got promoted as well. Ah, yep. It's funny that this is not even the main goal. Always, as usual. This is like one step of many more drastic measures that he's gonna take into account later on in the episodes, later on in the story, and it still goes so smoothly for him. Bond able to get into the secret chamber of Arterton, find the ledger, get it out, move right across Sherlock, and still didn't let him recognize that it's you. Give it to Patterson, give it back to Lestrade, get him locked up, get the main guy Arterton resign from his post. So easy for him, right? Uh, this is literally the case where I think I think Sherlock is just an observer. He just goes there, he's like, yeah, this is what you have to do. And he understands the situation. I think Sherlock understands the situation much better than everybody else because he's just still trying to figure out who Moriarty is, what his motive is, what he wants to do. And he knows that he is beyond it. He knows that there are way better measures of Moriarty actually going forward with his plans and following through with this and getting the innocent guy out who was being framed. But then you think about Watson and they're like, okay, the Watson is not doing anything as well, probably even less than what Sherlock is doing. More Mycroft kind of understands what their plan is. Mycroft understands what they want to achieve, and he has given them his backing because essentially it's not gonna, as long as it doesn't come in the way of the British government. Yeah, fine. Now, I did mention that I think there is a guy who is at the top of the chain of the command in the Scotland Yard that is supposed to be Moriarty's spy. I didn't expected it to be Patterson. I thought it would be somebody else, not Arterton, but maybe somebody else because Patterson is not there yet. He's not in the chain of command. Now that he is, yes, now it makes more sense. I'm not sure how they incorporated this angle. I thought he already knew somebody. But then, yeah. And they completely forgot about Charles, who was introduced one episode before. Now he's not even there. Maybe they're trying to rest him out for this episode and introduce him later in the story. But yeah, that is kind of crazy. I'm pretty sure that Moriarty's original goal, whatever it may be, will involve him introducing himself to Sherlock and revealing his actual true motive, because that is also a part of his plan. I might be wrong, but that's just my theory. Let me know what you think about that. Let me know what you think about James Bond in this episode, his amazing vehicles, and hey, like a guy with an automatic car is just roaming around your streets. Somebody tell Sherlock, please. Like, what's happening? Who's Bond? How is he there? What sort of other stuff he has? He has a gun that can be used as a sleeping gas as well. Nobody questioned the guys who were sleeping. Um, there are some loopholes which Sherlock is obviously missing, which I think that he wouldn't be missing. But sorry, not loopholes, plot holes. But that's up to the authors. That's up to the episodes. This is how it's working. It's working out smoothly for them, and I'm not complaining about it. I'm just happy that it's working out smoothly for Moriarty, because we get to see his full and final plan in action in the episodes down the line. Anyway, let me know what you think about this episode in the comments. If you enjoyed it, let me know that as well, and we'll see you for the next one. Until then, bye bye.